Hello, it's Johnny, SHTF. People think they're going to go out in the wild alone when either the shit hits the fan scenario or anything like that, zombie apocalypse, whatever it may be that happens. A lot of people just want to grab their gear and get out there and leave. I would probably say that probably the last thing you'd want to do. I'm not an expert on this, but these are the reasons why. First of all, a sniper, a fire team, all those scenarios include the word team. There's a sniper team, there's a fire team, doesn't matter what it is, everybody has their job and everybody has a certain thing they have to do. When saying this, the main thing, at least minimum 2 people, because you're not always going to be awake 24/7. You're not always going to be posting security, making sure nobody's coming, trying to take what's yours, and so on and so forth, like weapons, gear, whatever you have. Food, stuff like that. And just because it's shit hit the fan or apocalypse doesn't mean you're not going to be at your home. You could stay in and bug out in your home. Will actually be bug in your home, staying there. That might not be the best idea if you're in a big area, but it's all within your choice and where you live and your circumstances. But the first thing I really want to iterate is security and team members. Having members of a team is a lot less stress on you physically and mentally. Staying up for 24 hours is no joke. Like being on duty, military members, you already know that. Staying awake really sucks. So the more people you have, the better. And if you have a team of people, it works out a lot better. Not only the sleep security part, also getting the food, getting shelter if you're bugging out, getting everything that you need, clothing, scavenging for tools, even people with skills. Skills are going to be a big thing with shit hits the fans. Like, people are going to need stuff. Cars are going to break down, so it'd be nice to have somebody mechanic on your team, and then you guys share amongst yourself as the group or the team of people you're with. Medical skill, if somebody gets hurt severely or anything like that, a good medical skill person, a mechanical skill person, military tactical skill person. What else is there? There's tons and tons of other things that you need. Skills like me, I'm a gunsmith. I can fix guns. I can even build guns from scratch. I actually build my own guns, so I can, because guns will wear out over time. Stuff wears out over time. So having a good gunsmith with you at all times is really vital. For hunting or whatever, protection, setting up security. Just little skills like that. So like gunsmithing. I also reload ammo, so we'd have a good supply of ammo. I'm not going to say how much powder and ammo I have because I don't even know myself, but I get enough to last me a long time. With a lot of people, they like to gear up and stuff like that. I have certain, I could call them tiers. I have a tier, if like a light tier where it's just rifle ammo, clothing, so on and so forth, and then I have a bug out tier, which is a whole, like, it's not LB pack, main pack from the Army. It's a Molly 2 ruck system, I believe it's called, from the Army in multicam. It has everything, my shelters and all my stuff I need for a shelter in there. It's actually a pop tent made out of canvas. It's pretty neat, and it's really easy to rip down and put up very quickly. And then I have the heavy, pretty much heavy shit hits the fan scenario. I got my Kevlar, I got my Sappy plate carrier with Sappies, and Molly attachments, all that stuff with extra magazines. Now that's going to go on to something else, is firearms. Firearms within your team, and I do suggest being a team. But I really want to go back into the team scenario first before I go into this. With your team, like I said, you could have a mechanic. You could have somebody that's actually been in the military. Like a sniper would be very well because they're really well at setting up security. They're very observant, and the attention to detail snipers have is amazing. I'm not a sniper. I have a few friends that are snipers, but they are very, very nitpicky and very good to have around. You can learn a lot off of them. And another thing is, people think they know it all. You don't know it all. You need to learn and learn and learn, and open up your mind to different things, because I love learning. I don't know how people aren't love learning, and I just don't get it, why you have to have such a closed mind. Open up your mind a little and listen to what other people have to say and take it into, you know, consideration, because you're not the only one that knows it all. Nobody knows it all. Everybody learns off their mistake. It's only human. So open up your mind to new ideas, research, and other things is training. Military trains a lot. You can also get books and stuff like that, small unit tactics, so on and so forth. But another good, team member would be somebody from the military, somebody that's been in a leadership position, team leader, platoon sergeant, so on and so forth, squad leader, sniper, like I just said. That would be good as well. And to actually teach and spread the knowledge to your friends or people that you would be with, your so-called team, such as a gunner, machine gunner, all that stuff. You might not have a machine gunner and stuff like that, but it is a good idea to set up certain instances where there's like a rifleman, grenadier for smoke grenades or whatever, because obviously you're not going to be carrying HE 40mm grenade launchers and AT4s with you. That's pretty much rocket launchers and grenade launchers for the civilians that don't know those terms. But like if it was to happen, I'd really want a 4-man team, because it's a minimal team. It's good for reconnaissance, going in, seeing what's going on, and a small team that's easily controllable and can put down a pretty good amount of fire. Don't go out there bragging how much stuff you got, because people will come and try to take it. When the shit hits the fan, nobody's really gonna know when it is. So have a good means of communication. If you don't have phone lines, like phone lines get cut or something like that for some reason, have a walkie-talkie. All my friends, a couple of my friends that I would want to include in my team have other walkie-talkies set on the correct frequency. I used this ham radio. I don't have a ham radio license. Just make sure, if you don't have a ham radio license, do not go on the channels that will be illegal. There are legal channels for people without a license to use. So set up comm. I originally was communications in the Marines. I was a telecommunications specialist. But yeah, setting up comm, you guys need to communicate as a team, when to get together, where to get together, set up drills and training, and find out how you would react in a certain situation. Training is key. So now I'm going to go about with the firearms or your group. With the firearms or your group, think about how much ammo you see at the stores and stuff like that. The availability of ammo they get at the stores. Is there a lot of 5.56? Is there a lot of 7.7 by 58? 7.62 by 54? So on and so forth. Like, there's not a lot of 7.62 by 54. There's not a lot of 5.45 by 39. Well, no matter what store you go to, there's not a lot of that stuff in Maine I haven't seen laying around. But the most common rounds you see are 223, 308, 30-06, 30-30. You see a lot of that stuff just sitting on the shelf. 45, 9mm is a really big one. 45 is somewhat a big one, but I don't see that as much. But 9mm is a really big one. I got thousands of brass casings for reloading. And that's another thing, when you go to your local range, see all the brass shell casings on the floor. Look at the majority of those shell casings. The majority I see at the range are 9mm. I see quite a bit of 5.56. A lot of little 22s always spread all over the place, but those aren't reloadable. But it's not as plentiful, but people are still getting their hands on them. Just things that people usually have around your local area. It's good to have as well. Or you could designate a certain amount of, like I reload ammo, so I have plenty of rounds to last us a long time in 223. So what I would mainly do is designate. Well, not designate, but recommend that everybody on the team has a 223, 5.56 rifle, or SBR or pistol, or something along those lines. So that way we can all use the same magazines. We can all help each other out if we run out of ammo. It's really good to have plenty of ammo. And I think the minimum amount of magazines I would carry is probably around 8. And I have my loadout set for 10. Don't carry too many magazines. Oh, I'm not gonna say too many. You can never have too many. Well, actually, you can. That's another thing we want to go on to. Weight. How much gear are you gonna carry with you? And when I mean carry with you, you're gonna be carrying it around when shit hit the fan, go outside, or you could stay at your house. It just matters what you're planning to do. But with weight, that's a big consideration, because if you try to just walk around with your rifle, it actually gets to be heavy over time. We normally designate in our group 5.56 and 300 blackout. just, you know, to have fun. And when I say group or team, it just means pretty much we're friends. We just go to the range, have fun, we train, and then we just go home. It's not like we're militia or anything. We're not militia. We're just a bunch of people having a good time, and if something really goes bad, we stick together, because that is what friends do. Physical fitness. A lot of my friends are kind of chubby, fat. Sorry, guys. But try to stay in shape somewhat. Cardio is the biggest thing, is staying in shape. Not just muscle and muscle mass and all that stuff. And another thing is muscle mass. Don't get all big and shit. Get friggin' lean, because if you get bigger, you get tired a lot quicker. You might be able to lift that 200 pounds pack like once or twice above your head, but friggin' you probably give it to the little guy that's a little bit more lean, that can walk with it a lot farther. Which I'm exaggerating with weight, by the way, because we just went on weight. But whatever, don't get a 200-pound pack. A secondary firearm. That's only if stuff really goes wrong with your firearm, or you're going in small confined spaces where you could not use your rifle because it's too long. I have a mid-length, so it's a 16-inch barrel, but it's not bad. But I can take it to CQB. But something light, and at least have 4 magazines just to have on hand, like in magazine pouches. Make sure it's lightweight or medium weight, because you really don't want that thing clunking around. I'm walking around with a pistol that weighs a lot, kind of sucks. We used to carry the M9 Beretta. I never deployed, but I carried it just to the range and a few other times. And it's really big, bulky pistol. It's really heavy. I really like the 1911. I was not a 1911 fan until I built one. It shoots really straight, just like the M9. And it carries a little bit heavier bullet, 45, but I think it's definitely worth it. I really like it, and it's a well-built, reliable platform. It's been in our military for 100 years, over 100 years now. Obviously, it's built in 1911, so it's a very reliable pistol, still in use. So you can't go wrong there. A lot of people criticize the 1911. I was one of them, and now I'm not. The main reason why I criticize it, because, well, actually I'm not even going to go into that. That'll be another video I'll make for you later on. So back to what I was saying. Next thing I want to go over, like rifle caliber and ranges. I know I said to designate a round. That's good for your team. But if you're in like big open deserts and stuff like that, you want something that can drive. Like a 7mm .8 is very good for long ranges, and it shoots very straight. 308, stuff like that, and if you really want to get big, 50 BMG. But then we go back in the weight aspect. So another thing is knowledge of shelters, building a shelter and stuff like that. If you're bugging out, have somebody that knows how to do that, or find out yourself. Educate yourself. Open up your mind, like I said earlier. Food. You're not just going to go all out in the wilderness and just pick some apples, pick some berries, and be all happy and good. I really crave meat. Obviously I eat vegetables and I eat meat. I can't remember exactly what it's called, herbivore or whatever. I don't care. You need to have some good protein source, and the vegetarians, I feel bad for you, because I actually have a story about that. I'll do a quick story. I'm sorry to kind of get off topic. There's this vegetarian in when he was in MCT, which stands for Marine Combat Training. He was a vegetarian. He would only eat the vegetarian MREs, which are meals ready to eat. They're in a little bag. If you guys don't know what it is, just Google it or something. I'm not going to explain what it is. It's food. But he would eat, when he would go to eat chow, he would only eat the vegetable ones, and people would try to help him out. But he was really scrawny, he was weak, but yeah, he really suffered through being a vegetarian. You need to get that protein. And I'm not saying there's no plants out there that don't have protein. There's a few plants out there that do carry heavy protein. But I'm not going to go all into that either. So food, like if you have friends with a hunter or stuff like that, have somebody that's good, that can scavenge for food, or a scavenger. We'll go back in the aspect of teams. Designate team call signs through the radio. Radio frequencies are traceable, and they can find out your location. So I would just go with code names. Just like little things like that. Leave the radio on, yeah, at all times pretty much, and leave it on the charger. Or just if shit does hit the fan, have some source of communication. with saying all this, I want to sum up the video by saying that if you go out there alone, you are limited. You got limited knowledge. You have limited experience. Not saying that there ain't people like Bear Grylls that grab a knife, shove it in their mouth, and be George of the Jungle and survive their whole lifetime out in the wilderness. But the average normal person needs help. The average person that doesn't have mechanical skills needs, mechanic, first aid. Sometimes you can't administer it yourself. Just basic little things to help you out. Doing stuff alone sucks. And the last thing I want to say is help helps. So the more people we have, the more help you have, the more easier your life's going to be. So that pretty much concludes my video of the Lone Ranger conclusion. I think that's what I'm going to name this video. I don't know. Or I might name it something else. But pretty much that's what I was basing it around. The Lone Ranger concept of people just going out and being Rambo and all that stuff. It's not going to work. The sun's right in my eyes. So it's perfect time to end my video anyway. So communication, we went over communication, sleep, security, food, shelter, rifle and caliber of rifle or SBR or pistol, your secondary firearm, physical fitness, the weight of what you're carrying, the availability of ammunition, and preparing yourself mentally and physically. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day, and subscribe.